You are born in a place that doesn't show up on postcards. The room is small, not cozy small, the kind of small where air feels shared, where privacy doesn't exist, where night and morning blur together because the walls are too thin to keep the world out. The ceiling leaks during the monsoon. The floor is always cold. Somewhere nearby, a baby cries. Somewhere closer, an argument never really ends. You don't remember the moment you were born, but you grow up feeling like you arrived late, as if the world had already decided it didn't have much space for you. Your father is a shadow in this story. Maybe he died early. Maybe he left. Maybe the system crushed him before you could learn his voice. It doesn't matter. What matters is this. Your mother becomes everything. She wakes up before the sun, not because she's disciplined, but because hunger doesn't respect sleep. She moves quietly so you don't wake up too early. She lets you believe she's strong. She lets you believe things will improve. As a child, you don't understand money. You understand waiting. You wait outside ration shops. You wait in hospital corridors that smell like disinfectant and exhaustion. You wait outside government offices where fans spin slowly and nothing else moves. You watch your mother stand in lines that never seem to end. She holds documents in a plastic folder like they're fragile, like they might disappear if she grips them too tightly. She rehearses what she'll say before reaching the counter. She's polite, always polite. She says sir and madam like respect might unlock something, but most of the time, it doesn't. People look past her, not at her, past her, like she's part of the furniture, like she's noise. You notice this before you're old enough to name it. You notice how dignity leaks away slowly, not all at once. At home, meals are simple, sometimes too simple, sometimes delayed. You learn early how to tell hunger apart from appetite. You learn how to drink water and pretend you're full. You learn how to lie without words. Your mother never complains out loud, and that's what hurts the most. She apologizes for things that aren't her fault. She apologizes for asking questions. She apologizes for existing in spaces that were never built for her. At school, you're quiet. Not because you're shy, but because you're observant. You see which kids have options, which kids can afford mistakes. You hear teachers talk about hard work like it's a universal currency. You nod along, even though you already know that effort alone doesn't move mountains. Connections do. Leverage does. But still, you believe. Not in miracles, but in fairness. Your mother believes even harder. Then one day, her body starts to fail. At first, it's small things. Fatigue. A cough that doesn't go away. A pain she waves off with a smile. But she keeps working. Keeps standing in lines. Keeps saying, just one more visit. Hospitals become familiar. Forms multiply. Fees appear from nowhere. Each visit costs more than the last. Doctors speak in careful sentences. You don't understand the words, but you understand the tone. Time is running out. You watch your mother do the unthinkable. She begs. Not loudly, not desperately. She begs properly. She stands outside offices holding a folded piece of paper. She asks for help, for assistance, for justice. She doesn't ask for pity. She asks for fairness. One afternoon, she collapsed. People step around her. Someone calls for help. Someone records. Help arrives late, very late. She dies in a system designed to move slowly unless pushed by power. At her funeral, you replay everything. Every line, every office, every ignored plea. You remembered how she begged for fairness, how she waited patiently, and how she followed every rule. But still, she died on the steps of a building that meant to help her. That's when something inside you changes. You stop believing in asking. You stop believing in fairness. You stop believing that goodness alone survives. You drop out early, not officially, practically. Survival takes priority. You work where you can. You see how money moves differently when fear is involved. You notice how people listen faster when consequences exist. Your first wrong step doesn't feel wrong. It feels necessary. You justify it easily. Everyone does. You're not hurting innocent people, you tell yourself. You're just bending rules that were already broken. You're just doing what the system refuses to do. You get better at it. You learn who to talk to, who to scare, who to pay. You learn how silence is bought, not earned. You learn how paperwork disappears when pressure is applied correctly. Money comes faster now. You help people, real people. Hospital bills, school fees, rent, food. The neighborhood changes. People stop begging. They come to you instead. They call you a savior, a protector, a solution. And maybe in some twisted way, you are. You build something big, organized, efficient, and ruthless. An empire that feeds on the cracks of the system. You don't think of yourself as a criminal. You think of yourself as a correction. But power changes the shape of your thoughts. You grow impatient with weakness. You grow allergic to waiting. You start seeing people the way the system once saw your mother, as obstacles or assets. The irony doesn't hit you yet. The system notices you now, not because you're right, but because you're visible. Too visible and too effective. Investigations begin. Deals are offered. You refuse some, accept others. Politics enters the picture. You fight the system using its own language, influence, fear, and leverage. For a while, you win. New hospitals open, schools improve, streets get paved. Thousands of people live better lives because of you. But empires built in darkness attract light eventually. The arrest comes suddenly. No speeches, no chaos, just paperwork, cameras, and handcuffs. The system that ignored him as a child now destroys him efficiently. The trial is just a performance. The verdict was decided already. Execution. As you lie there, waiting for the end, your mind doesn't race, it rewinds. You see your mother standing in line. You see her holding those papers. You see her apologizing. You wonder, not if you became a monster, but when. And whether the system created you, or simply revealed what it does to people who refuse to disappear quietly. The end comes clean, clinical, and final. And somewhere else in another forgotten neighborhood, a child is born. His mother is already tired. The lines are already long.